Since we're talking about Winslow Homer today, here's a painting called Fog Warning. In this painting, we see Winslow Homer's fascination with the sea and coastal life. Because of this, today we're going to be making origami boats. So because we're talking about Winslow Homer today, we're going to be making boats using origami. So this is the boat that we're going to be making. You can see that it's a little bit more intense than normal origami boats. But don't be concerned, we're going to go through each step by step, so you're confident in making this. As you can see, the boat has these little prongs at the bottom that allow it to stand up when we're done. So yeah, let's get started. So to begin, you're going to want a piece of paper. And this paper should be square. To get this square, I took a piece of printer paper and I measured 8.5 inches in one side and cut off that little extra strip and threw that away. So once you get your square, you can start by making this diagonal fold. This will turn our shape into a triangle. Now, you want these corners to line up as closely as possible. You can see here, I have a little gap. You're not going to want that, so I'm going to carefully adjust the edge of my paper a little bit to decrease the size of that gap. When I get my line where I want it, I'm going to unfold the paper, turn it a little bit to the left, and fold it again. This will give us a nice X in the middle of our paper. So when you get here, you're going to want to fold all 4 corners to the center. With all 4 corners folded to the center, you can now begin the next step, which is taking these horizontal sides and folding those to this central axis. Now you're going to turn your paper so it's longwise in front of you, and you're going to fold it again to that center axis. Next, you're going to turn diagonally, and you're going to fold this in half to make a triangle. I like to pick it up off the table at this point and pinch it with my fingers. At this point, unfold, turn 45 degrees, and fold again in the same place to make an X on your paper. So there you can see that X I was talking about. Now the next step is we're going to carefully open up this flap, pull this inner flap here out, and close the flap. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm creating this little triangle bit that sticks out. And you're going to do that on the other side as well. So at this point, you should have a shape that looks like this. So from here, we're going to flip our shape over, and we're going to fold in half to that center line. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So now we should have a pretty thin shape with these pointed edges here. So now you can flip your shape over, orient it vertically, and you're going to open up these flaps here. Now when you open this up, you can see these little triangles. You're going to push this up and flatten it so it lines up with this line here. You see how I'm lining that up? And you're going to flatten all the edges. And you're going to do that on the same side here. So now we have kind of this X shape. Now this is a little tricky. You're going to take this inner flap here, and you're going to peel this back and gently pull this out. I say gently because you can rip the paper if you're not careful here. So you're going to pull that whole flap out and get this large triangle. And do that on the other side as well. From here, you're going to flip your shape over and fold all 4 of these corners in toward the center. From here, you're going to take one end and fold this corner up, and then fold this vertical line so it lines up like that. And then on the other end, you'll fold these edges diagonally, connecting that point to this point with a single line. So you can see how I'm lining it up. Now with this, we're almost done. The only thing left to do is to carefully fold our whole shape in half. And there we go. That's all the folding complete. You ready to move on to the next step? So for our final step, we're going to be opening up the boat. So you're going to want to take your folded paper and pinch with both fingers on either side of this little rectangle here. From here, you're going to carefully pull the boat open by pulling your hands apart. Be careful not to pull too much or you might rip the paper. When you've reached this point, your boat's done. You can take these little flaps and flare them out to support the boat on the table. And there you go. You can now make a Winslow Homer boat.